Well, it is Tuesday night. It's pretty late. It's about 10:20 as I'm recording this video. And it has been a long day, and I'm pretty exhausted, which should be obvious by the look on my face tonight. Um, I'm a little bit hoarse, which is because of allergies, which always kind of hit me this season. It's spring now, officially. But the New Orleans area has really been hit pretty full steam here the last 48 hours or so with coronavirus kind of hysteria. And I don't say that in a judgmental way. I think that the public health officials know exactly what they're doing. And it's really important that we're all talking about it and we're all planning things and events are getting canceled and you know, but it is true that everybody's talking about it here, and social media is just filled with, really good information, questionable information. It's just really confusing. There's a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but there's a good bit of conflicting information. I went to a little dinner party tonight with some friends, and everybody around the table, like that's what they were talking about. 70% of the conversation, at least, was about the coronavirus or some semblance of it in one shape or another. And it's just kind of, we're all being assaulted with this right now. And everybody was saying, again, to some degree or the other, that they're much more aware of their body and their wellness right now, or how many times they touch their face, how many times they're washing their hands, and like this kind of sense of low level creeping anxiety is starting to kind of take hold. And obviously, at this point in time, it's taken hold for good reason in different parts of the world where it has really exploded, this virus. And now it's starting to be diagnosed in the US, and it's going to just, the incidence and the prevalence is going to just explode here for a while. And so a lot of people are very, for good reason, very anxious, but there's definitely a sense of unwellness, low-level unwellness, if that's even a word, around this community in particular. And I've had clients who are, canceling, and I've had my students are starting to have these issues impact them directly in their internship sites. And so this is just going to be a cyclone of adjustment for so many of us. And so that's what's on my mind. I have other things on my mind, but right now, that is what's going on, and that's what's on my mind. And I think that if I had to sum it up for me right now, what's really on my mind is just this sense, again, of creeping anxiety, of unease and uncertainty and fear. So just to be in a community that's feeling that everywhere you turn is kind of a unique place to be. And so, as somebody who tends to have anxiety, not high levels of it, but just kind of a general anxiety, it's definitely something that I need to focus on, how I'm kind of taking that in and what I'm doing with it. So I'm kind of in my head about all this right now, and how my work's going to be affected, how my children are going to be affected, those I care about are going to be affected, etc. So that's what's on my mind. And I think what I'm going to do tonight for mind-body practice is almost identical to what I did yesterday. Yesterday I had kind of a hand on my heart and a hand on my core. Tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different. I am going to do a tree pose in yoga, which is, I've done it before in these videos. I may try to demonstrate it a little bit, although with this computer it's a little challenging. But it's essentially standing with one leg grounded, straight, standing up straight, one leg grounded, the other leg with your foot kind of against either your ankle or your knee or your thigh, depending on your level of balance and flexibility, and just standing in tree pose, which is a really good pose. And I'm not a yogi. I am an amateur at best, but that is one that's really just, kind of commonly known. And I love tree pose when I need to feel strong and when I need to feel grounded. And so what I'm going to do tonight is actually do a tree pose, and I'm just going to do a real basic mantra. If I can get myself balanced, then I'm going to put my hands either here or here, depending on what feels right to me at the time. And I'm going to say mantras like I love to do. And I'm going to say, I am well, I am strong, and I am present. I am well, I am strong, and I am present. What happens with all kinds of situations, but certainly one like we're in right now with this, what they're calling a pandemic, really starting to be a widespread viral condition, is that our heads do tend to get off into the future, as I mentioned. What is it going to be like tomorrow? What is it going to be this weekend? Events are canceled. People are worried. What is it going to be next week? What's going to happen when schools are shut down temporarily? Always kind of thinking and worrying about the future. And it's super important as a mind-body practice to stay focused on the present. And there's so many ways and so many different mind-body practices around that one concept. But for me, just right now, tonight, I am well, I am strong, and I am present, meaning I am right here in this moment. And in this moment, I am well and I'm strong. I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know about the weekend, but I know about now. So that's the practice I'm going to do tonight, is I'm going to stand in tree pose. The song I'm going to add to my playlist is kind of a silly, cheeky song. And when I got in my car after this get-together tonight, I had some driving to do, and I said, well, I'm just going to play like my general playlist of all the songs I like, which is 2,000 songs. And funny enough, the song that came on was a song by Fleetwood Mac called Secondhand News, which is a super classic from my childhood, which is many years ago. And so I just love the tongue-in-cheek nature of the title of the song. Secondhand News feels really appropriate right now, since there's second, third, fourth-hand news, and everybody's getting all this, sometimes disinformation, but so many rumors and things going around that may or may not be true. I thought that was funny. The song itself is not necessarily about that. The song is more about, from a relationship standpoint, secondhand news. But I'm going to add that because I just thought it was fun and kind of appropriate. So that's what I'm adding to my playlists tonight, kind of a silly song because we need some levity. So secondhand news, and then I'm going to do some tree poses tonight before I go to bed. And tomorrow is another day.